You are back in the shop with me, guys, and this week on the channel I want to show you how I clean the rust and the grime off the top of my cast iron table saw. Stick around. I'm Stoner Ericson from Ericson Design Company, and let's build something. Ta-da! Now, keeping the top of your table saw free of rust and debris and making sure it's really smooth is actually a safety issue, because as we glide stuff through here, any resistance that we get on the top of our tabletop of our table saw could prevent a kickback. We just want this to be smooth. Safety is the most important thing in the shop. And I've tried this a few different ways, but this is the best way that I've found. It only takes four easy things. The first thing is an Orbital Sander. Now, I always have mine right here on my bench all the time. And I built this little French cleat system that has multiple and different kinds of grits going all the way from 60 up to 320. So I'll go ahead and grab my Orbital Sander, and then I'll grab my 220, and I'll probably need about 4 pieces of that. That's number one. Number two is on my paint and stain wall. I keep a lot of my little walrus oils over here, my epoxy, all my different colors of spray paint, extra glues. I think my scroll saw's up there, different stains. It's always right here, I know where it's at. But number two, what I found best is WD-40. Now, there is a system and a pattern to this, and at the end you're gonna really see the difference, but WD-40 is the second thing we're going to need. Number three, just under my paint booth and paint stand, I built this shop towel holder. You can see how I built this in my shop towel holder video. It's like a Kleenex box. You need a clean towel, you pull it off. You need to put a clean towel away, you put it in. You need a clean towel, you pull it out. So we're gonna take two. We're gonna take a microfiber and then a regular dish towel. And this is number three of the 3 things that we need. And the fourth and final thing is a little bit of elbow grease. Now, those 4 things, you're gonna be able to get the surface of this really nice and smooth. And if you stick around to the end, I'm gonna show you a way to preserve that so you don't have to do that all the time. Now, I do like to add a pair of gloves, that way I'm not getting smudge all over me, and I like to wear my shop apron, that way I'm not getting smudge all over my clothes. So, let's get into it. This is my base starting point for today, but my brother had given me the saw a couple years ago, and this is the way that I got it, with this process back to that. We're gonna get started by throwing our gloves on, and then first we're gonna take the nozzle off of the WD-40, give it a quick wipe, and then I'm gonna put about 2 tablespoons of WD-40 all over it. Now, this is in high speed. I'll let it set for just a second. Then I'm gonna take my 220 grit of my Orbital Sander, and I'm gonna try to go with the direction of the actual table saw, and I'm gonna lightly sand it. I'm not putting a lot of pressure, I'm just taking off that first layer of dirt and grit, and you can already see it get black and dirty and soapy. So a quick wipe off, and you can already see we're making a ton of progress here. Now, the next step's important. We're actually gonna dry sand it with a new piece of the 220 sandpaper. We're gonna try to go with the direction of the table saw. I'm gonna clean up that front edge. There's like a beveled edge on the saw. And then I'm gonna repeat the process and repeat the steps by adding back my WD-40. Now, I didn't show this here, but I let this kind of sit on there for about 5 minutes. I kind of just let it sit on there and let it kind of find its way and kind of dry up just a little bit. Then I'll take a new piece of sandpaper and I'll do the exact same thing over and over. And I'll repeat the process from dry to wet. Ooh la lolly, look at that. Boy, does that look ever so nice. Now, you can see with the sandpaper grits here, the one that I use to sand on top of the WD-40 and the one I use on a dry sand. That dry sand's really gonna pull the grit up from the one that we used on the wet sand. I'll go ahead and take the time to kind of clean the whole table off. I'll clean off my sander. Guys, if you like fun and creative videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Do it, and do it now. Plus, check out my social media stuff. I'm on Instagram. My TikToks are super fun. I really enjoy those. Plus, leave me a comment, guys. I love to read those, and I'll totally comment back. Wow, does that look butter. Now, I'm going to give this a little bit of time to dry. I'm going to go ahead and clean up my table saw insert, and I'm going to get all that WD-40 out of that, because sawdust will really want to stick to that, and I can push that guard up. This is one of the most crucial steps to this,
so you don't have to do this all the time. You got to put paste wax on the top. Now I'm going to pull the paste wax out and I'm going to liberally rub it on in circular motions all over the tabletop. I'm going to do the wings. Everything's going to get a nice hue of paste wax. I'm going to take a little putty knife and I'm going to clean out the paste wax from in between the actual wings and the table. And then I'm going to let it dry completely. I'm going to let it haze over. And then vigorously, I'm going to polish off the paste wax. This is going to give me a seal between the cast iron and what I'm sliding across it. It's going to make a really smooth, gentle path for all my wood to pass through, making this saw 1,000 times safer. This is before, this is after. Ooh, the lolly, it's like having a brand new table saw.
And that, my friends, is money. I'll take a little bit of paste wax and I'll touch up and clean up the sides of my fence so that it slides smoothly, both on the front and the back. When I got this table saw, it was a gift from my brother, and he had left it outside in Texas for about a year, and the surface of this was completely covered in rust. And I tried all of the rust removers, different things. I bought the ones on Amazon. And the WD-40 followed by the paste wax with the 220 sanding is the best way to do it, trust me. If you do this, hit me in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Check out my other videos right here. And I'm Stoner Ericson from Ericson Design Company, and we did something. Ta-da!